What's going on, everybody? It's Thursday. It's the new schedule. You got Miss Ward in the house. How you doing, Miss Ward?
I'm absolutely phenomenal.
Good. It feels good, but it feels strange being here on Thursday, and we don't have our boy EJ with us.
Yeah, I feel like something's missing, you know?
Yeah. So shout out to EJ. He'll be back tomorrow morning. We're trying out this new schedule this week, so you've seen some changes. But change is good. So I'm just thankful that me and Miss Ward get to do our thing on Thursdays for however long
Yeah,
this new schedule lasts. So happy
exactly.
May the 4th, everybody. May the 4th be with you, everyone. Hopefully everybody's got some exciting plans for the weekend. Tomorrow's Cinco de Mayo. So um, hopefully everybody's got some plans to relax this weekend. Uh-oh, we lost Miss Ward. What happened? Let me see if I can get her back. Got a few people checking in while we try to get Miss Ward back. Good morning, Jones Vlogging Network. Thank you for joining us. Good morning, Joe. May the 4th be with you, brother. May the 4th be with you. My mouse doesn't seem to be working very well. How's the sound out there, everybody? Are we sounding okay? Am I sounding okay? I got my fancy schmancy mic, so hopefully there's Miss Ward. Let's get her
What's
back
going
in here.
on, man? What's going
We
on?
lost you for a second there. I was scared.
Yeah, that was because I was having
I was,
technical
I was all by
difficulties over here trying to type and think. You know, it happens.
it happened.
This is why we love being
It
live
happened.
because, hey, straight no chaser. Good morning, Adam.
Yeah. Yep. This is one take. We get one take. Okay, so we're sounding good. They can hear us. Reception is good. All right, thank you guys.
Miss
Well, let's
Ward's
get
in
right into
Panama
this thing,
City.
Miss Ward. Uh-oh. Watch out, Panama. Y'all better watch out today. Miss Ward's on the hunt for
That's right.
them appliances.
That's
Well, do
right.
you want to pray us up, and then we'll
Sure,
get into
absolutely.
this?
I welcome that opportunity. Lord, thank you
Thank
for,
you.
of course, helping us through the week. Lord, thank you for giving us wisdom, strength, and ability. Lord, thank you for giving us a place to lay our burdens, our hearts, our spirits, and our minds. Lord, thank you for allowing us to know when it's time to take a break, when to take some time off. Lord, give us the strength to understand and the wisdom to understand that we must have balance at some point in some place in our life if we want to continue to be successful in our businesses, personally and professionally. Lord, thank you for waking us all up this morning and giving us one more opportunity to shine and say amen. Amen. That's all I
Amen.
got.
Thank you so much. Hey, that's all we needed. That was beautiful.
That's
I like Joe's comment here. He said, "On my service calls when I get stuck, I don't say what would Jesus do anymore. I would say what would Miss Ward do? WWMWD." Hey,
that's
I
funny.
like that. That's a good one.
Hey, I feel y'all.
That's a
I
good
was
one.
just Hey, check this out, TK. I was telling somebody the other day that I talk to myself in the third person now. Like, I'll be out on a job and something will happen. And so Rochelle is the tech and the employee, and Caprice, which is my middle name, is the CEO. So the Caprice will be like, okay, Miss Ward, it's all good. That's a minor detail, minor setback. Let's stay calm. Let's focus on the plan at hand. And I'll look at Caprice and
There
I'll
you
be
go.
like, really? And then Caprice would be like, okay, Miss Ward, remember the big picture. We can deal with this later. And then I go do it for real. Like I started doing that because I said, let's just do the split personality and get through it. And it actually works, people. Hey, you better pull that
I
alter
love
ego
it.
out, honey, because life
Yeah,
happens.
I
It's
love
how
it.
you deal with it and
And
react to it.
we learned your middle name today, so that's pretty cool. Caprice. That's a cool middle name. I like that.
Yeah. Yeah. I
You
hope
never know what
everybody's
you're gonna
ready for
learn
Mother's Day.
on the morning. Oh yeah, hey, that's a good reminder. If you guys don't wait till the last minute, you better
Try to.
go get your mom something. Make sure the kids got something for mom if that's your thing and you need to help them. They're still at that age, but don't get caught slipping. You got to be ready for Mother's Day. So
Yeah.
we're gonna be talking about upping your craft, staying on top of your craft. And this was a topic I hit Miss Ward up and said, what would you like to talk about? And this is what you brought up. And it's so important as a business owner and as a technician. I don't care if you're the owner or the technician, you have to stay on top of your craft. If you're the owner of your business, it is 100% your job to give your team and the people in your network the proper tools and the proper training and the proper education to stay on top of what's new with these appliances. Because we're in a day and age now, and Ms. Ward can attest to this, and anybody that works on appliances can attest to this. This stuff's changing quickly, and there's new information coming out, it seems like daily, when it comes to these new appliances. So if you're not staying on top of your game, if you're not looking at what new bulletins are coming out, I was telling Miss Ward before this stream, LG just put out a service bulletin on those craft ice makers. So make sure you get that from whoever your LG person is. We'll be uploading it to the Service Alliance Group library here in the next few days, and I'll make a post about it so everybody can see it. But let me shut up for a minute, Miss Ward. What are your thoughts on this subject of staying on top of your craft?
I think that you have to find what works for you in regards to staying on top of your craft. Like a lot of times, I deal with a lot of my clients have their one-man shows. So I'm always preaching the advantage of having relationships with people in your area. I called, like just yesterday, I called Phil over the Atomic Appliance Repair up in Augusta. I talked to DCNF. I talked to Darian yesterday. I always talk to Courtney and Geo, LP. But I'm always inquiring what's going on in that, not only in their day, but what are they seeing in the field. And I think that inspires you, because I think it's so hard when these guys are out here doing this Lone Ranger. A lot of people, and particularly guys, I see this a lot with men. They don't want to ask for help. They're afraid that they're going to look a certain way. And you need to get past yourself, honey, because you are in the way. So,
Yeah.
just I recommend that you're always talking. So yesterday I talked to Phil about the Frigidaires with the issue with the damper, the tower. Of course, we all know about the ice maker with the ice maker buildup in the back, and things of that nature. I talked to DCNF, and we were talking about all the Frigidaires that were showing up leaking. Of course, Phil was talking to me about, of course, we've been dealing with this forever, the GEs, where you just changing out compressor after compressor after compressor. And I feel like you got to do that. And then I was talking to Darian, and he was mentioning to me about the GE dishwasher that has an additional board for the motor and and drain pump. So at the end of the day, you got to stay current. And then of course we're using the Smart HQ. He was talking about the inverter board. That's what it was on the GE dishwasher. And he's looking at his Smart HQ. He's like, what inverter board? But at the end of the day, stay on top of your technology, because in this day and age, you're going to have the tools to win. You gotta invest in the tools. I can't stress that enough. And then stay on top of your skills. And I was coaching one of my clients yesterday, and he was talking to me about the frustrations in SEAL systems. And then I was telling him what I do and how each time I do a SEAL system, I get better and better. And I check my technique, what I can do cleaner, faster, and more efficiently. And at the end of the day, I tell people all the time, you got to face your fears, man. Knowledge, the more knowledge you have, the more tools you have in your tool box to be successful.
Amen. Yeah. And I'll say this, we were talking about Smart HQ before this got rolling. If you're one of those people that has been procrastinating on that GE Smart HQ, you have two people sitting here telling you stop procrastinating. It is a game changer. It will pay for itself. If I break that Smart HQ out on a job, the customer's paying for it. It's not something that's just a nice tool to have. It is something that I charge when that thing comes out of its case. I got a fancy little like one of those weatherproof gun cases for that case pops open. The customer's paying for it. Those software updates aren't free. I'm not giving those away. So it pays for itself, and it is such an awesome tool for diagnosing and working on these newer GEs. We all know that these newer GE appliances are having issues. A lot of the issues you see can be resolved with that Smart HQ with a simple software update. So if you're on the fence about it, just go sign up for that Smart HQ. And we're not sponsored by GE, just saying it's a really good tool.
Facts. I wholeheartedly agree, man. You know what they say? Don't be a Neanderthal. Get out of the dark ages, people, because it's here whether you like it or not. Embrace it. Like, prime example, don't be like Miss Ward. I bought a Smart HQ. I swear I didn't use it for 6 months because Miss Ward, was intimidated of pulling out my Bluetooth and figuring out how it works. I was moving too fast to figure it out. Now, I had it. I'm one of those people. I buy everything, and then it might take me a year. But then I get pushed up against the wall. I'm like, oh, I have to learn it. Don't do me. Be better than me.
Yeah. Jones Vlogging Network isn't a fan of the Smart HQ. You've either never used it or you just don't like I can't see how anybody could use it and say it's crap, because that thing is a game changer.
Yeah, it's a lot of times it's a training thing though, because when I first started using it, it didn't make sense, and then I was like, okay, I am the master of this. This is not the master of me.
Yeah, it did, and I will say there is a learning curve when you first get it. But it's one of those things. If you're going to work on GE moving forward, it's a no question for me. Like, you need that Smart HQ. And really, I think what the direction that we're going in, eventually everything's going to be some sort of jig or some sort of Bluetooth capability to tap into these machines, because that's just the direction everything's going. It's just like the R600. You either get with the times and get with what's going on, or you get left behind. So I'm not telling anybody what to do. We're just sharing with you what we're doing. If you're doing system work and you're not learning how to work on those R600 units, you're going to be missing money down the road. You're going to be missing money immediately, because they're out there and they're failing rapidly.
Exactly. It's so important to be on the curve, the front end. Hey, EJ.
checking in.
You need to come hang out, man.
Yeah. Where's EJ at? See what Paul said. I've never used it. Love the idea. However, I don't like supporting manufacturers corrupting software to force the need, or it's going to be like smartphones. Everything is going to be serialized. Yeah, well, it's come whether you guys like it or not, it's here. So you can either get with it or get left behind.
Hey, let's not leave our Haas, HAAS, from Samsung I'm telling
Yeah.
you. And the reality, all the boards are going to start, especially with GE, we're going to all just have blank boards. Like how many times you go into an appliance and you got to write it? You go use it and then it says, do you want to write this, basically not just the software, but the part about when it doesn't have the model and then you got to write it and boom, boom, boom. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's definitely a situation. But the key is we have a window to the future and we are, you know, we're so comfortable. Like, look at R600. Remember when you wasn't comfortable with R6? Everybody shook and scared. They was like this. And then you go work on it and be like, really? Oh, I like this better than R134. Like, boom, 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 done.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think the problem is a lot of people get intimidated with new things. When I first started doing sealed systems, it was intimidating. I'd never worked with a torch before, other than a little bit of plumbing back in my day. But once you get used to it and you get over that initial intimidation, it's just like anything else. You learn, you get better. And that's the thing that we're trying to push, reiterate to you guys today, is that you have to continue to learn and upgrade your skill set in this industry. Because if you don't, you're going to get left behind. And I see some of the comments, and I don't understand that mentality of, we're going to resist these changes. You can resist the changes all you want. The only thing that's going to happen to you is you're going to get left behind and you're going to leave money on the table. If you don't want to work on, it's just like the LG and Samsung, the guys that don't work on LG and Samsung. If you don't want to work on LG and Samsung, perfectly fine. The only thing that's done for me in my business, the people that won't work on LG and Samsung, is put more money in my pocket and made my business grow. Because I hear it on a daily basis. We go out to the customer, they got an LG, they got a Samsung, and they say, I called 4 companies before I found you, and none of them worked on LG or Samsung. Go for it, guys. I'd just like to personally thank you guys from the bottom of my heart.
Yeah. Well, I think that it really is an individual situation. Yeah, that's crazy. So we don't even want to talk about it, man. Between Texas and Oklahoma, I'm done right now.
Right.
But I think it's an individual situation. And I think that as an adult, there are things we have challenges on. And if you're comfortable being frustrated every time you walk, it's like people who refuse to learn how to read schematics. Like I'm in 2023, you could pretend to look at L1 and L2 and draw, you know what I'm saying? And connect the dots. Like I can't comprehend. Give me some money, Dan. Let me hold some. 2 compressors, outstanding. But seriously, I think that as an adult, and you walk into these frustrations, because I'm one of the most stubborn, bullheaded, I will hit my head up against the wall. People like, Miss Ward's so smart. They don't understand, honey. That's called, I got a hard head. You make a soft behind mentality. So I am so stubborn, and I hope that's why I'm good at appliance repair, because I refuse to lose. But you got to understand, when you're walking into situations and you want to shorten your diagnostic time, please get your schematic game. Like I'm always down with Master Samurai and Scott Brown and stuff over there, because I love the way I love the little video he got about my favorite is the Samsung dryer, where he's checking the thermostat and using ohms to see whether it's out, checking the heating element, all from the board without tearing it down. And I love this comment. He says, I am inherently lazy. I do not want to tear this appliance down. So I'm going to check it from the board so I don't have to go through all that. That's brilliance and intelligence, but it's also shows the customer a different view of technicians, that we are thinking, that we are intelligent, that we you put forethought in what we do. And before we tear down your appliance and move this around and cause disruption, let's think through the process. Let's use the other tools of intellect and schematic ability and diagnostic, like putting things in diagnostic mode. All that gives you a level up. How many times have we been on jobs where we tore stuff down and we're like, dang it, I never tested this. I should have at least tested for 240 before I started. We all done it. But the key is to give
Oh, yeah.
yourself grace and to look at your areas of opportunity, and don't beat yourself up, because a lot of us don't get better because we just get upset with ourselves. I'm one of those people. I'll be beating me up, you know, and then I still haven't moved and accomplished anything.
Yeah, and I mean, at the end of the day, it goes back to the old saying, work smarter, not harder. If you don't have to do a bunch of disassembly, why would you? You know, like, why would you tear down this whole machine? And first of all, if not check the basics, but then you can do a lot of your troubleshooting from that board. It just makes sense. You know, like we're in the business of repairing appliances, and at the end of the day, whatever is going to make my diagnosis quicker, that's the route I'm gonna go. It just makes sense to me. But yeah, if you're not staying up on top of those things, staying on appliantology, staying with the service bulletins, Scott's always putting out good information. So shout out to the Samurai team out there.
Exactly. Yeah.
There's a lot of good information out there, and knowledge is power. At the end of the day, when you're out there on these units, you gotta have that network. Like, you gotta have those people around you that you know, you gotta have your LG guy, you gotta have your Samsung guy, you gotta, you know, I have people that I call for different types of appliances, and the beauty of the day and age that we live in is we have these communities. You know, we have Appliantology, we have the Service Alliance group, we have YouTube and Facebook and all these different things where we can go and get more knowledge and more little nuggets from people. Speaking of LG guys, Dan's my LG guy. He's the LG master, I like to call him. Get yourself a system for diagnostic flow. Yep, absolutely. You know, what does Samurai call it? The 10-step tango, or 10-step
that's it.
Something.
That's it.
And I'm not saying that that's how everybody's going to do it, but get your own whatever it is. You know, it doesn't have to be the 10-step tango. That's a very good system for diagnosing stuff, but you should have a procedure for everything you got. And then like Dan said, document that procedure so that you can pass it on to your next employee or your next person that you train up, so that they can be better and you can sharpen their. And I'll say this, if you're a business owner and you're not having regular trainings with your team, you need to start having regular trainings with your team. I'm not saying every week, but at least once a month, do a training with your team. Show them something new. If you have a shop, bring a new product into the shop and let them tear it down. Let them do a little bit of, you know, playing with the machine a little bit. When we first got that GE Smart HQ, we did an entire training at the store. It wasn't real in depth. It wasn't, you know, we didn't want to intimidate anybody, but we brought everybody in and showed them some of the cool features that it had. And everybody left there with a little more knowledge and a little more power out there getting through these service calls. So
yeah, outstanding.
I can talk about this subject all day.
Yeah, well, I think that another thing is with the guys who are the lone rangers, the one-man shops. I think a lot of times they get in homes and they're rushing through jobs and they can't find a place to be comfortable to really learn or to test out doing the like, say, the schematics from the board. And sometimes what I did was I would do, each time I do a job, I check something a different way. And I start just gradually putting it in my process as I got more comfortable. because some boards you have to situate them a certain way to get them. And so, like for instance, you look at the Samsung dryer, and you got some of them where the board's easily accessible and that you can keep the top down and test everything and flip the board over. Some you got to take the top off and hang the board from the side and stabilize it and test. But all that stuff is awkward in the beginning, but it's like riding a bike. Once you start those process, once I always say, give yourself grace, be patient with yourself, and it's just like working out in the gym. As if I'm an expert, don't talk about me. But working out in the gym, as you do the repetitions, the weights, things get better. So it's a process. Give yourself grace and stay on YouTube. You'd be surprised how many people are sharing information from across the world that don't even, I watch guys and I don't understand what they're saying, but I dang sure understand what they're doing. I learn every day from everybody.
Yeah, you can always learn from other, there's so much knowledge out there. You would just have to be lazy to not get it, because in this day and age, with the amount of information being shared, you're not doing your part, or you're just not looking for it. But I am going to put the new service bulletin up so that you guys can be aware of that for the LGs. If you haven't gotten your jig updated lately, highly recommend doing that. If you're not running an 8.14 soft version on that LG jig, you need to get your jig updated. So I'm going to wrap things up, Miss Ward, if you're cool. I got a busy day, and like I told you before, I'm heading to the river this evening, so I'm trying to hammer through some service calls today. But you got any closing thoughts or words of wisdom before we hop off here?
I just want everybody to take every day and just be a little better 1 degree, whatever area it is. I think that we're almost 6 months into the year, and we know we don't need to get lost on the fact that we're almost in 2024. So you want to look back over your last 6 months or 5 months, see where you grow, you've grown, and pat yourself on the back, and then look forward to an outstanding remaining year. Give yourself grace and time, though. You'll get through it.
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely. Give yourself some grace today. Hopefully, y'all got some plans for this weekend. Tomorrow's Cinco de Mayo, so hopefully everybody has a great day today. A great day tomorrow. Tomorrow, EJ is coming on. I'm not sure who. It's going to be a surprise. So then tomorrow morning, we're going to see who EJ brings on. He might be by himself. Who knows? But Miss Ward will be back next Thursday. If you haven't signed up for the servicealliancegroup.com, make sure you go sign up for that. If you are not following Miss Ward on her platforms, make sure you follow her on YouTube and Facebook and all that good stuff. Solid Steps to Wealth. If you haven't signed up for the All Access Service Alliance Group website, we are running a promo right now, springtime 2023. It's going to get you $100 off your All Access membership for the year. Get in there, sign up, get the SOPs, get the tech sheets, get the vendor programs. As we keep telling you, this union vendor deal is going to pay for your membership. It is outstanding. Get those good prices, and we will see you guys next time. Peace.